Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 94 of Mastering Local Marketing. I'm Jim Deedlow. He's Matt Hanson. And we talk to you, the small to medium-sized business. Thanks for liking the podcast. Thanks for watching it. If you want to watch it, go to WJOB 1230. Click on it, and you'll be able to see what we look like. And, of course, you can listen to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in Mastering Local Marketing. Holiday marketing does not need to be overwhelming or expensive. This episode shares simple and creative ideas that you and your small to medium-sized business can stand out during the busiest time of the year. The focus is on connection, visibility, and community rather than fleshy campaigns or deep discounts. The ideas are practical, easy to execute, and designed to work for any industry, including salons, restaurants, boutiques, pet stores, and service-based businesses. The goal is to help you stay top of mind through November and December by showing up early and consistently. By the end of the episode, you will have a clear set of holiday strategies that lift your business and connect you more deeply with your customers. Here we are in late November. We're about a little over a month away from Christmas.
It's a final stretch.
It is a final stretch.
Let's make those books look really good.
Let's talk about.
Yeah,
let's just go straight to some concrete things.
Yeah, no, I mean, time is ticking here, right? So we are in the middle of November. I know by the time this comes out on the podcast on Apple and Spotify, it's going to be Thanksgiving week, and obviously that is a huge time, and we're trying to get all of those people. So, some of these ideas that we're going to talk about, could take a little bit of time to implement. Some of them you can put right now. You can go out there and do. So I realize that people are going to be shopping if you have a store in store up until the final second. If you're selling online, usually it's about December 15th was kind of that deadline date of getting shipments out. So, but today we want to talk about kind of like little things you can do if you're a small business, kind of hyper-focused on the retail side, but we have mentioned this a few times, and I want to see this in stores tomorrow. I want people to start realizing the products that sell the most, and I want them to put a sign next to those products that's just a simple QR code that says, add this to your wish list, right? Send this to a significant other for your wish list or something along those lines, to where you scan it, you can put your information in there, and then it triggers that automated response to the individual that you want to let them know, right? So again, I'm sitting there last night, I'm talking to my wife about Christmas is coming up. I'm like, what do you want? She keeps telling me, I don't know, I'll figure something out. And she never gives me anything. But when I go buy something, it's, it usually ends up going back and all those types of things. So I just want some company to develop this or to put this in their stores, that I get an email that says, hey, your wife would like this for Christmas, right? Like, just give me the wish list, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that I can go pick, instead of having her say, no, don't worry about it, I'll just pick something up. That's not what I want to see. So we've mentioned this on the podcast before, but it's as simple as putting a QR code that's driven to a form. You ask them for, who do you want to send this to? Matt. What is the email of Matt? Put in the email. Who is this from? Who would this gift be for? You put your name in there, right? And then it automatically sends an email saying, hey Matt, your wife would like to, get this product, right? Like, it's such a simple idea. But if your wife scanned something and you got an email that said, hey, she would like this for whatever, birthday, Christmas, whatever, like, would you take that? Would you take that as a hint and say, well, I should probably go buy that?
Oh, in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I mean, as a husband, one of the difficult things is, what do I get my wife?
Right.
That is the biggest, hardest thing at Christmas, because I don't know, some wives might be a little bit more forward. My wife's like, I got everything I need, concentrate on the kids and the grandkids. And I'm like, what? What do I do now?
Right.
And here it is, December 22nd. I'm calling my daughters. What do I get your mom? Oh, well, I don't know. And I get the same thing. There's nothing. So really what you're talking about is a QR code hint system, I think would be the
little
right
sign
term.
next to each
But
product.
only by the bigger sellers. You don't want to have those all over your store.
No.
Just here, hey, this is our biggest selling book.
Right.
And you say you got a bookstore. Hey, a lot of people are buying this book right now, Wild Dark Shore, which is one of the better selling ones. Kind of a lot of women's-based book clubs are doing that book. I read it. My wife's in a book club, and I'm like, wow, this is a great book. That would have been a great Christmas present, but we already bought it online for the book club. That is the QR code hint system.
But think about this, right? So you go out there and you're running meta ads, Facebook, Instagram ads, trying to get people to come into your store, trying to get people to convert, right? And you're sitting there and you're not quite sure if it's converting or not. You put a simple, people walk through your store. Let's say 50 people walk through your store every single day, your small local, like town square kind of thing. And 50 people walk through your door every single day. If 2 people scan that, what do you think the conversion rate on that's going to be? Pretty darn high compared to just running ads to general traffic, right? So if let's say for the next 30 days, 60 people scan that, what do you think is going to convert? 50% of that, maybe?
How to just Google it, how to do a QR code. It's pretty easy. You do not be afraid of the technology on that. We're not going to go that far into it. All right, giveaways.
Yeah, we all understand the things that have been shared with us through the years. So it's always like the 12 days of Christmas and those types of things. We are mid-November right now, and the 12 days of Christmas, right? Like you've got December 1st through December 12th. It's a perfect type of promotion to run because you can do a different small giveaway or a small event or something every single day for 12 days. And people start to look forward to what is it that is going to be the next day and the next day and the next day. So as you've gone through, the craziness of Friday, right? Right after Thanksgiving, you've got the Saturday, which is Small Business Saturday, and then you got Cyber Monday. And once you get your breath from all of that, and then we go into December, roll back out with the 12 Days of Christmas program where you're doing some kind of small event, some kind of small giveaway, some kind of small service, whatever it may be, to get people to keep coming back. Because realize we go through, Black Friday to Cyber Monday, there are still things that we haven't purchased, right? So there's still 1 or 2 individuals that we're still looking for something. Take that and use that to your advantage because those 12 days of Christmas, if you can pull them back into your store, the odds of you selling something in doing that is much better than just ignoring it and saying, I hope somebody comes in the next 12 days.
We're recording this in 2025 November, and quite frankly, I have not seen this in a while. There is a massive need at the local food bank. Our largest sponsor, Streck and Van Til Stores, is a huge patron of the Northwest Indiana Food Bank. And we are seeing that a number of businesses that advertise with us outside of Streck and Van Til, which is certainly a drop-off point, is that they're becoming drop-off points for food, especially. What does that do for your business?
Well, again, I will say this a million times on this podcast, and I've probably said it a million times already. If you're going to partner with some local charity that you must be passionate about it, right? So you don't just join a charity, don't just bring somebody in just for charity's sake. Have a direct connection to it, right? So, you talk about the food bank and Victor and all of those guys, great people doing a phenomenal job.
And they're under a lot of stress right now. They had a mile-long line the other day.
Yeah, it's amazing. But, with me, if I start to look at things and different things that I want to help, many times it's, my mom died from pancreatic cancer. My son had cancer. There's these things that are close to me. I used to serve when Victor was with the March of Dimes, I served on the board with him there. And, if you've ever seen the NICU at I mean, it's just tears your heart apart. So, I mean, there are things that you want to be part of because they touch something inside of you. And if you're going to do a drop off of some sort, make sure that it resonates with you. We used to do coats drop off for kids that needed winter coats. And we did that for years. And it was just the fact that when my mom passed, I heard all of these stories of all these like underground things that she used to do, and that was the surface level, but it was all of this charitable events and things that she used to do, and it was amazing to me to hear that. But I remember still to this day us taking in all of these coats, or we'd go to Walmart and we would take money in from people and we'd go buy 50, 100 coats for kids that needed, just warmth in the winter. And that's something that you will see right past somebody if they're just doing it just as a promotion. There's got to be a direct tie to it. But again, the holidays aren't necessarily about giving. They're about helping and supporting your community. So, that's what I said. I understand we're talking about like driving new revenues and things like that. But again, the whole approach of giving back and being part of your community is just as important.
Social media, how do you use that?
I think it's the same thing, right? So we mentioned the QR codes, and if you put products and you create a wish wall of different products that most people are buying this, for example, we used to have this. It almost looked like a Barbie doll kind of product. It didn't have a head on it. It was all wires, but it was a jewelry holder for like necklaces and things like that. And we would get those things in and they'd sell out in a day or 2 days. It was amazing. Like, it was the product for like 2 years. And, you could post something like that on social and put 10 of them in a picture and say, which one would you like for Christmas or whatever, and tag somebody that you want them to know, right? So your husband or whatever, right? But use social media. We didn't have social media back when we were doing the home decor shop back in the day. I mean, it was infancy, but like today you can post all kinds of product out there and have people tag those products as a wish wall, right? Like, this is what I would like to get.
Holiday themed photo op. I've seen places use this. Mm-hmm. A lot of it's automated now. You don't have to have a photographer there. How would you put that in a business?
So I had this boss back in the day, and he loved Christmas, and he went to, there's a place in Frankenmuth, and I forget Bronner's, that's what it's called, Bronner's, and it's like the largest
well
Christmas,
known in the Midwest.
Huge.
It's in Michigan,
right? Yeah. And so he went up there and he spent some ridiculous amount of money on all the animatronics, and he created this whole Christmas thing, and spent way more money than I would ever spend on it. But I remember taking that as a lesson, because I remember when he did it, these people came to see it and we were setting it up, and I thought it was just so cool that we were setting up these old school window displays, kind of how they had in Marshall Fields and all this in Chicago. So when we had the home decor shop, we had our front windows, and we started to create kind of this Santa Wonderland in the windows, and we took tons and tons of time to create these things. And the reason that we did it was because people would come just to see the window every single year, and then they'd come in and we'd have hot chocolate for them and everything else. But people were taking photos, and obviously the signage is right there, so you got the signage with the windows and all the other stuff. But it's just something festive about it. We brought it in. It didn't take too much to really kind of do these things, but we weren't going out and spending $200,000 on animatronics and things. I mean, we were going to the local Home Depots and things like that to buy different things, but we would customize it with our product and have kind of all this intricate details into it, and people just loved looking at the windows. So it would drive a ton of traffic and would drive our revenues up every single year.
We're going into the end of the year also, and using home decor, you had some very best customers. What can you do for them?
Yeah, we used to invite them to kind of like a secret night to just come in and just enjoy time. We would have food and we'd have drink and all this stuff, and we'd invite them just for like a little end of year party, right? So you had your best customers; they got a nice little invite, postcard invite or whatever it was, and we would just spend 2-3 hours just getting to know them better, having conversations. How are the kids? How did that table work out with you? Let us know if there's anything we can do, right? Like it was, and we would completely transform the store into a winter wonderland. So I think we had 13 different Christmas trees, and like it was just stuff was just I kid you not, we probably had 500 ornaments on each tree. I mean, it was elaborate. And we had this great manager that would go through and do all of this. So it was really kind of an experience that people were coming in and they were kind of getting this holiday joy, and it was sharing, and there were no pressure to sell anything. But if somebody wanted to buy something when we were there, the register was open. But it was just getting to know people. And I don't think we do that enough. I think we've with digital and the Amazons of the world, that we've just become this faceless shopping mechanism. I think there's some pushback coming over the next couple of years. I think we want to physically go into a store. In some cases, I think we're kind of reshaping how retail is looking. Again, we were talking about Michigan earlier and how you can go up to Michigan and like you have all these little intricate shops that you can shop in, and those are fun, right? It's something different. So I don't know. I don't know where things are going, but I can tell you, if you have a year-end event with your best customers, it's not about selling. It's about getting to know them better and about just being human. And if you do that, yes, you're going to sell some product while you're there, but you're actually building relationships, and that's what business is. It's just a relationship.
What if you have more than one location? You got an idea there?
Yeah, so each location is different, and each location is going to have different customers, right? So if you have a small local business, 90% of people will travel 20 minutes or less. So let's say you have one location here in Hammond and you have one location 45 minutes away in Valparaiso. Those are going to be two different sets of individuals that are shopping. So you can have two separate events. Maybe you have one on Saturday, you have one on Sunday, but realize that you can have them in different locations, but you've got probably 80% of your customer base at each location is going to be different. So you have to understand your customer. Do I want to travel 45 minutes for, hot chocolate and cookies? Probably not. But what is it that you're doing in that event that is driving them? But you can do it in multiple locations.
And what about a holiday passport system for those multiple locations?
This is done a lot in small towns, right? So you have some kind of passport or some kind of like stamp system. Go to different stores during a certain event. We've done them with art events, we've done them with holiday events, but if you want to get really creative, you can kind of have like Santa's passport, and maybe you've got 7 different businesses in an area that are participating, and once you bring that passport back, you're entered into some grand drawing for whatever it may be. But it gets people in each one of the doors for all of the businesses that are participating. And obviously you don't want people driving 45 minutes from one location to the other, but if it's a 2-minute drive down the road to the next one, and a 2-minute, right?
We're in the Midwest. There's a lot of towns that have a courthouse in the middle, and then they have the shops all around. You could do them all walking.
Right. And then you've got, this little passport they turn in. It's been stamped from all the different, quote unquote, different countries, right? The stores. And you bring it back, and then now if you have people register for this, you've got to get their contact information. Now all 7 stores have new customers that they can reach out to, because I'm assuming if you're participating, you're going to get the information as well. But you build a basket together. So those 7 companies that are all together have built this basket, this grand prize, so to speak. And maybe you're giving $20, $30, $40, $50 towards it, but you're getting all of these new customers in a database that you can use moving forward.
Episode 94, Holiday Marketing Ideas for Small Businesses. If you missed it this time, remember it's episode 94, and start looking at it in September or August and say what you're going to do. But really, it comes down to an attitude of making use of the holiday time.
Yeah.
And that's where it starts. So this has been episode 94. Thanks a lot to Adriana Alvarez. Thanks a lot to you, Matt, for talking about this stuff. But most of all, thanks to you for watching and listening. Till next time, see you later.